Today's discussion is persistence of pain, agenbite of inwit. A word on this title, it is a phrase taken from James Joyce's writing, meaning roughly the looking again into the pain of the self as perceived by the self. There is an iterative and increasingly powerful effect of this inner watching that can sap already vulnerable energies and deepen already substantial self-doubt. This inner watch is, I think, very typical of wanderers. Let us discuss self-doubt. We are looking in this discussion more deeply into the purely emotional and often largely subconscious energies of our beings. There are layers to the basic experience of being a wanderer. There are rejections that push at us more deeply than those of childhood or family, the bad opinion of our own selves. There is the murky, yet powerfully fertile, subconscious, emotive flow. The deeper, the darker, that surfaces in the emotional life. At this level, it's really all about us. We are the main players on this stage of being our own characters in the personal myths we create of our lives. This is the area where pride comes fully into bloom as the antithesis of and last defense before humility and the truth of the self. This is also the locus of self-doubt and insecurity, the deep sinkhole that remains unhealed while we get our surface behavior shaped up to fit within the cultural preferences we choose to honor. Self-doubt can be a very crippling thing. Wanderers are easy prey for the emotional binds of self-doubt and insecurity, since much of the response we get from more normal people is sometimes unkind or hostile. People with feelings of insecurity can express this by straightforwardly expressing fears about the self, or alternatively by becoming seemingly sure of the self and being overbearing. In either case, the neurosis involved is insecurity about the worth of the self. Certainly, it can be said that this is not only true for wanderers, but for all sorts of people. However, the sensitivity of the wanderer is such that all problems seem to hit harder and do more damage, because this level of emotional pain is not immediately obvious from the surface behavior. It can go very wrong and very deeply so, and result in challenges such as psychic reading. The normal people of this world, being generally untroubled by a metaphysical-oriented point of view, simply are not experiencing the pain of self-doubt with the same timbre and resonance. Here are some wanderers with self-doubt in their minds. Why is there such a battle going on within my own self? How come I can say the right thing to others and yet stay in such a state of confusion for myself? One of the hardest and most unpleasant things that I have been doing in this last year is getting to remember who I really am. This is at times most unpleasant and very much hard work. My husband was afraid, my children were afraid, even our dog. I saw why, too. To learn to trust yourself, your soul, is a very large step when you have been raised your whole life to try and swallow this concept, to try and believe in anyone and everyone but yourself. Wanderers often feel very much at risk and vulnerable in the outer world. I mentally tell myself, I'm safe, I'm okay, but my emotional self is screaming, no, you're not, no, you're not. It only proves what I've been saying the past few years. Logic and knowledge are not enough. The heart is what gives things substance. If you rely on logic and knowledge only, you get a shell and nothing more. The only way I can see a way out of this is to work from my heart, to get the substance back and prove to my emotional body, look, you're safe, really. It is easy to feel like a failure in a world where the inner beauty and love of truth that we possess are scorned. I think something in the recipe of this life is lacking, or is overlooked, or is overdosed. I don't know. I feel my life I feel my life to have become too salty with tears of sorrow. Oh, how I wish to create love and peace. Where is the peace I so sincerely wanted for life? It is easy to feel that one cannot be of service, since one is so muddled sometimes. I guess the idea of me being there to help others is a bit silly to me. If you could only see inside my head for a day, I get so confused, scared, angry, and all the others. This idea of me serving others sounds so foolish. You know, like the blind leading the blind. It even scares me. To be open to others means that one is vulnerable to them. That scares me. And also, there is the fear of making a mistake. Yet, with all that going on, all a person has to say is, I need to talk. And all that fear is gone. I am so willing to just go ahead and jump in if I am needed. There is that part of me that will not let me sit by and watch another suffer like that. It is only afterwards that all this begins to arise. And self-doubt can manifest as a fear of one's deeper self. I believe that I have a fear of my own power. In most things, I only go so far and it's not conscious. I am becoming more aware of it, and I feel this surge of energy rising. And I eat to stop myself from feeling it or assisting it. I've allowed myself to fall into a pattern where I would gladly do anything for anyone else but face my own personal power. The Confederation sources addresses questions frequently from members of our group concerning this emotional sensitivity and self-doubt and how to deal with it. It is appropriate that each seeker feel a certain amount of doubt as it approaches a new experience upon the spiritual path. For this kind of doubt or questioning is that which prepares the seeker in an inner sense to take the step from the cliff, not knowing whether the foot that steps shall rest upon firm foundation or not. Thus, if there is interest upon your heart and doubt in your ability, we recommend that you rely upon that desire which you feel, and that you put aside for the moment the doubt in order that your journey may continue along that path which is designed by the passion and desire within you. The positive path is full of shadows, of questions and doubts, of continual learning and balance. The choice for polarity is not the choice for simplicity of early lessons. Heaven forbid we should have things simple and easy. Usually that's not the wanderer's path description. There will be suffering and confusion throughout this illusion, for it is by such testing that these basic principles are forged in the fire of experience within each entity's heart. Be gentle with yourself, not expecting too much, yet placing before yourself the goal each day of renewing faith in the fact there are truly no mistakes within this illusion. There are great puzzles and riddles and experiences of confusion and doubt, which each seeker of truth will find placed upon the path and with which each seeker must grapple. There is one thing that wanderers with low self-worth, like myself, have going for them, and that is, at least apparently, the attitude of humility. I have long considered 4 qualities the most central to doing work in consciousness: humility, patience, persistence, and honor. Humility is a tremendously saving and sustaining quality of character, and I can only encourage wanderers to cultivate it. Unfortunately, it is the most difficult of all gifts for me to receive, for pride is my most stubborn fault. I work with it day after day, year after year, and just when I feel I might be making a little progress, I notice I am proud of that. The Confederation speaks about humility. It is very important that there be negativity and difficult experiences, that one may learn the humility of one who allows, observes, and then acts, rather than reacts. To take the life into one's own hands is not to take control of what one wishes by affirmations and prayers unceasingly. It is rather to realize that the plan has already been made. The pattern has been set. It is the best pattern you and your higher self could create for you. And all that you need do this time is allow yourself to be upon the path upon which you are, keeping your eyes open, watching your feelings, finding ways to manifest love, the smile upon the street, the kind word to a stranger. Humility need not indicate low self-worth, but rather a restful and peaceable nature alert to the love in the moment. So peace be with you, my sisters and brothers. I hope this little talk has been of some help, because it has for me. I am Robert, your humble narrator and messenger of the Law of One. Peace be with you. I love you.